We are so excited about being able to welcome some of our students back to school. And I know parents are really worried about what is this going to look like. So if your student arrives either by car or walking, they will have a health screening before they can enter the school. We will be asking some questions to find out if they have any of the symptoms related to COVID-19, and we will check their temperature. When students are having that health screening, if they have come in the car, parents are going to be waiting for them in the car until they pass that health screening. Otherwise, the parent or guardian may be with the student while they are having the health screening if they've walked. If they do not meet the health screening, they'll return home with their parents and get further guidance from our health office. Students who ride a bus will be entering at a different entrance at the school because they will have already had a health screening. Students who ride buses will have their health screening prior to getting on the bus. There will be bus attendants on all the buses who will do the individual health screenings for students. If a student doesn't pass the health screening there at the bus stop, the parent then can take them home at that point. Once they pass the health screening, they will enter the school and go to their classrooms. Hallways will be marked, so 6-foot distances are obvious to students so they know that they can keep their space and be safe as they're walking to and from their classrooms in school.
We're here in one of our Arlington elementary classrooms to show you what a classroom setup might look like in a hybrid setting. So you'll see in this classroom, we have 8 tables used as student desks, and the chairs are separated by 6-foot distance. There's a space at the front for the teacher to also stay distanced from students, and each of our kids will have their own individual materials at their table to use for math, English language arts, and all of their other content areas. So you can see here we have supplies for our students, from scissors to pencils to crayons, books for their reading and their math manipulatives. And these materials will only be used by this student. So at the end of the day, the student will put their materials in a basket or another area of the classroom so that the table can be thoroughly washed. And the next day when the student returns, they will go right back to the same materials they were using the day before. During art and music time, students will likely remain in their classrooms with the materials at each individual desk, and the teacher will either be in person or will be providing virtual lessons. You'll notice in the classroom we have markings to designate where the teacher will stand. There will be lines set up so the teacher can move back and forth throughout the classroom, but still staying distanced from students. There will also be markings on the floor for where students will line up to go get lunches or for dismissal of the day. And you'll see markings for waiting to wash hands, as well as going in and out of the bathroom. Many families have asked us what lunch will look like in the hybrid model. The classroom really has become the student's home away from home, and so likely lunch will take place right in the classroom, although many schools are making possibilities for students to eat outside. Now remember, we only have half of the students from this class in this physical space. The other half of the students will be in the other room, and the teacher and assistant will be moving back and forth between classes to provide support and instruction with students. Each time the teacher and assistant switch classes, they will thoroughly wash hands. So one of the benefits of the hybrid model is such few students in one room at any given point. So we've had lots of questions from families about what small group instruction might look like. So if you see in this room with 8 students, the teacher could potentially have 2 groups of 4, provide small group instruction to one set of 4 students, while the other set of 4 students is doing their independent work with headphones on as to not be distracted by the noise. And then the teacher can swap and work with the other 4 students while the first set of students is doing their independent work with headphones on. Families can feel confident that the classroom will be thoroughly cleaned each day. We'll be monitoring and cleaning all surface areas, chairs, sinks, and bathrooms on a daily basis.
Staff and families can rest assured that APS is using the enhanced protocols and cleaning and disinfecting all surfaces and classrooms prior to students every day. They're even using recording sheets so that prior to going into a classroom, we can check and see if a room has been cleaned, what cleaning product, and when the room was cleaned. Many parents are wondering what happens if a student gets sick during the day. So just like during the school year, if a student gets sick during the day, the classroom teacher will notify the nurse. The nurse will make a quick assessment. If it's a typical injury, students will go to the regular clinic and they will get taken care of. If the student is displaying signs or symptoms of COVID, or the nurse feels that there is a concern, then that student will be taken to the health annex, which every school has now. And that annex or isolation room will be a safe place for them to wait until parents can come and pick them up. In school and on school grounds, all students are expected to wear a mask. Don't worry, if students don't have a mask, we will have one here at school for them. And we will also be sending home some masks for all students in hybrid before hybrid begins.
When it comes to dismissal, we'll be operating very similarly to as we have in the past. We may have staggered dismissal times for bus riders and parent pickup, but we have prepared the hallways to maintain social distancing, and even as students get on the bus, we will maintain that. As classes continue to go outside to meet their parents, again, we have markers so students can maintain that distance. Then they'll get into their cars with their parents or meet their parents at dismissal time. Some may even be walking home. Either way, we're just really looking forward to seeing so many of our students return. We put a lot of preparations in to make sure it's a safe and enjoyable experience.